And hey, everybody, want to welcome you to this week's shortened episode of the Get Your Geek On podcast. Sans one host, as you can tell, but as always, we are your hosts, Charles KIWACZ.
And Robert Dokes.
And Anthony, unfortunately, mistook my lack of message, meaning that we weren't going to be shooting. But so he didn't want to hit the traffic coming back in. But we're going to wrap things up here. Just a quick show this week, some quick headlines that we want to get over and a couple of trailers that dropped. So we want to kick things off. There is no CW shows as they are on hiatus until 2 more weeks we got. Until those come back.
That future Flash.
Looking forward to it. Although they did confirm that Tyler Hoechlin is back as Superman for the season finale, and Callista Flockhart is back as Cat Grant.
Of course.
So it'll be interested to see those. But do want to start things off here on a very somber note, and a true legend has left us. Charlie Murphy passed away at the age of 57. Most well known as Eddie Murphy's older brother, and from the very famous Chappelle Show sketches, Charlie Murphy's True Hollywood Stories, arguably 2 of the best comedy sketches in all of history because of the fact that they were true.
Yes.
Like the way that they were made, but then like not only did you have Rick James there attesting to everything that he said, but then Prince came out and said that it was all true with the Breakfast Can Wait album. But just a true legend, gone far too soon. I had the pleasure of seeing him live when he filmed his stand-up special in Boston about 10 years ago and got to meet him after the show. And dude, was just an absolute pleasure. Mm-hmm. So nice to be with, and just gone so young at 57 of leukemia. Mm-hmm. I mean, just reflecting back, I mean, he truly was a comedy legend. He did the Player Haters Ball with Chappelle. I mean, he was Tyree in the Mad Real World.
Yeah, in the Mad Real World.
He was a huge part of that show. He was one of the main writers on the show, too.
He was. He had an underrated career. One of the biggest things I remember him being on, I don't know if you ever saw the movie CB40 with Chris Rock.
Straight out of Low Cash.
Yeah, straight out of Low Cash. And so when you look at that, he was one of the he was the gay, I'm forgetting. He was one of the main characters. I just remember seeing in there. It's like he was lifting weights. He was getting ready to kill the guys. And it was go see it. Go see it. Good movie.
Absolutely. But just want to, our condolences to his family and to Eddie, a true legend gone. In some great casting news this week, though, very excited that we finally got our Cable cast, although I'm a little iffy on the casting. Josh Brolin cast as Cable. Which, first of all, how can you be Thanos and Cable?
I'm going to say double dipping, but I like this double dip.
I mean, yeah, I can see the casting for sure. I just don't know what he's actually going to bring to the character.
Well, I'm hoping for a little better version of the K that he did in Men in Black 3 or 4. Yeah, Men in Black 4. No, Men in Black 3. Men in Black 3. But kind of straight-laced yet funny. But at the same time, I'm going to put my tin hat, parchment foil conspiracy hat on. And
it's a conspiracy. I have the documents right here.
Conspiracy, and go in and fact and say this, that does this mean, did you think he had to kind of clear it with Marvel? It's just like, hey.
Oh, absolutely. There's no way. Especially with Infinity War being like his big movie finally.
Big movie. So, yeah, I'm liking that, and I'm putting on the fact that maybe this is an olive branch if they let him use an actor.
That's a big leap to go from an actor to we'll play together.
Well, no, but the idea is he had to go for Marvel to say that hey, you're talking Disney and you're talking Fox. They don't play well together, or at least they have had that issue in the past where they're concerned because of rights, or at least Marvel is. And so I'm looking at it as an olive branch, letting us use your actor.
I mean, we'll see how it goes. I mean, we really got to see what they do for the look and everything else like that before we really get into this. But
I'm looking forward. I like the casting. I question it, but I like it.
We'll see. One casting that I was very happy about, though you guys weren't, was Jude Law has been cast as the young Dumbledore for the Fantastic Beasts sequels, which I really love. I mean, they're going to ugly him up with makeup and stuff like that. You guys were saying he's too sexy, but...
All right, so to let you know, it's not that we just come together once a week and just meet and talk about this stuff. We do talk online, and both Anthony and I are kind of questioning this casting decision, just because of the fact that I drew a line because it's just they're really trying to appeal to the women for these films. Understanding it's Hollywood, it's not a bad thing. I just dropped my pen.
How dare you, sir?
They try to draw it. So you have Colin Farrell in the first one, and that's fine. You have Johnny Depp. Now you get Jude Law. You have to be seeing a pattern here.
Absolutely.
It's a pattern of like, we want your female dollars.
I'm looking forward to it, though. We'll see how they do him up with the makeup, but between him and Johnny Depp, that should be a nice dynamic of those two playing off of each other. Because they're basically Dumbledore's in love with him, so we'll see how they play off that. Some rumor mill news that's been floating around here, but apparently Apple is in the running to buy Disney for a reported $200 billion. Apparently, they're trying to get into some media markets, and that's their way that they want to jump into the pond. Of course, along with Disney would come Marvel, ABC, ESPN, Freeform, all of those. Pixar. No, Pixar's a separate entity.
I know Pixar's a separate entity, but
no, Pixar's, they're only licensed to do The Incredibles 2, Cars 3, and Toy Story 4.
But I'm talking about it merges Apple's stock together.
Oh yeah, it merges, and then would make them the first $1 trillion company. Yeah. So we'll see how that goes. I mean, what are your thoughts on that? We'll see if it ever actually comes to fruition.
Well, it's very obvious if you can't, with the way the media is working today and the way that Apple...
You can't beat them by them?
Well, not that you can't beat them by them. We're seeing, YouTube, Google's got itself into the fray with Google YouTube TV. And we've seen NBC and Comcast get together. And why not Apple and Disney? I mean, they have a large catalog. They have billions of dollars. It just, propagates more Apple stuff across the world, especially with Star Wars and the Marvel and the movies. Why not? It's a money-making machine.
We'll see if it actually ever comes through. Wrapping things up in the news roundup this week, the Sheldon show, which we've been talking about, the Sheldon prequel, Big Bang Theory that CBS is shooting about a young Sheldon Cooper, has cast Laurie Metcalf's daughter as Sheldon's mom. Laurie Metcalf plays Sheldon's mom on the show itself from Roseanne. So I kind of like that aspect of it because they do look a lot alike too. But we'll see how that show goes. I mean, what are your thoughts on that as far as like keeping it in that sense in the family?
That's weird. Laurie Metcalf as daughter's gonna...
It's like casting Billy Lord to play Carrie Fisher as Princess Leia.
Oh, boy.
But we'll see how it goes. I mean, I'm not hyped about this show at all. But just other than that, pretty slow news week. Star Wars Celebration is going on now. I'm going to wrap things up with a little bit of trailer talk, but just make sure you do check out our partner pages as well. You've got Comic Skin, who's doing some great giveaways right now. And then, of course, the powerful Bat Jeepster rings. Makes incredible stuff. We'll have some new rings to review of his next week. And then also don't forget to check out our lovely partners over at Slab Pro. Great things coming from them. Some new reviews coming in the next couple of weeks. But just as we wrap things up here on a quicker show with some trailer talk, looking forward to the 3 great trailers that dropped today. Let's start off with what everybody's talking about. Dropped about an hour before we went on air. Star Wars Last Jedi. The trailer has dropped. The very ominous teaser trailer has dropped.
One thing,
breathe, just breathe. Which I thought was the dumb way to start, because I thought that was just a message to all the nerds watching it live. Like, come on, don't pass out, you asthmatic bastard.
Oh no, you know what? I like that. That's very true. It's like, look, it's breathe.
Liability, losses. But we did get our first look at Luke, some Rey in training, an injured Finn, injured Kylo. Some nice chase scenes, things being blown up. No real story points, but one major revelation is that the Gray Jedi exist. We saw their symbol in the temple on the first planet of the Jedi. I mean, what are your thoughts about them finally being introduced into the canon?
I've always been a fan of that because the idea is anybody realizes, and I know some people are going to be mad, but the idea is if they talk about bringing balance to the Force, balance means that you have 2 sides. Not just one.
For those of you that don't know, Gray Jedi were considered non-canonical for a long time, but they're basically a Jedi that doesn't align himself with either side, but has been able to master using both light and dark sides. So they can use dark side power without being turned fully to the dark side. They usually have very unique lightsaber colors, and they don't pledge themselves to either side. There's actually a Gray Jedi code, but they've always been my favorites because they're that way. In my opinion, they're the ultimate power, and I think Luke might be a Gray Jedi in this now. Well, Qui-Gon and Mace Windu were our previous 2
And
Grays.
in the Star Wars Rebels and Rebels series, Ahsoka Tano was a Gray Jedi.
Yes.
Because the idea is
one of our favorites.
Yeah. So that's one of those ones. I am hyped, but I am scared because I was waiting for this trailer for such a long time, and I was like, okay, Rogue One didn't show up, and now that I see it, I'm like, you can look and see me in the camera.
Look at that, folks. Look in his eyes, folks.
Look at my eyes. I'm scared. But I'm looking forward to it. I want to see this.
We'll be there.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to this film because I want to see the story. The trailer left me with more questions than answers. I like, like you said, the training scenes. I want to see how the characters progress because it's supposed to take up not too long after the end of the first Force Awakens. So go with it.
So just want to also just add in some quick news announcements here. So we did a con this weekend. I have been working my way around getting us some new guests for as we head into the summer season here. And one that I didn't even want to tell you off camera because I wanted to get your reaction live is at some point in the next month, we're going to be doing a phone interview with David Harewood. Martian Manhunter from Supergirl. I've aligned myself with a group on Facebook, the KIWACZ Nation, and they got in with him, and they're passing him off to me after they do their interview this Saturday with him. So we're really looking forward to that. And we also have the Luke Cage show writer is going to be on the show at some point in the next month, lining up some great guests. Laura Vandervoort of Supergirl fame is hopefully going to be on at some point in the next 4 to 6 weeks to get her schedule on. Pleasure running into her. We've interviewed her twice, but just never on this show. So look forward to some great guests as we line up for the summer here. Some great people coming in. And then Boss Logic, the great digital artist who, if you follow our page at all, you've seen his stuff. We're going to be trying to work out an interview. The only problem is he's in Australia. So it's just a matter of trying to be able to get the studio available for when we can.
We're dealing with international date lines.
Yeah, 13-hour time difference. So we'll see how we can work that. But wrapping things up with our last two trailers here, did you see The Hitman's Bodyguard with Ryan Reynolds?
I put that in our, message. That was just...
I think it looks hilarious.
All right, so here's what I want now, because this is where I want, and I'm going to throw my parchment paper conspiracy hat on. I want a Nick Cage Deadpool... Nick Fury. Nick Cage. Oh boy, I just thought about that. Nick Cage Deadpool, that would be awesome.
I'm more of a treasure protector.
Yeah, that would just
Have you seen him in The Priest? Open it! Have you seen that scene?
Yeah.
Oh my god, that's hilarious.
Yeah. So Deadpool and Nick Fury. This is the closest thing I will get because it's like he single-handedly ruined the word to me. It's like this.
Notice I didn't say it.
Yes, but it's just them going to be having fun and riffing on each other in a movie I didn't see coming, and I'm appreciating it.
It'll be funny. I mean, it's R-rated, which it has to be with them, but the preview looks pretty good. Didn't give a whole much of a story. I love Whitney Houston playing in the background.
Yeah, that was like
made it amazing.
I feel like that was a little Deadpoolish. It's like we're gonna play something that has, that's going to make you think of something, but it's really not.
And then just lastly, we got the final Transformers, the Last Night trailer, which looks incredible. I can't wait for this movie. The way you guys hark on the Fast and the Furious movies, I'm so pumped for this one.
Yep.
Optimus gone evil. Some great scenes. I mean, the mini Dinobots in this one included. Some great new Autobots. Megatron even looks pretty dope. But the fight scenes just look incredible. But the idea, I think Bumblebee's going to die because they announced that the Bumblebee spinoff they're making is going to be a prequel. So it leads me to believe I think Optimus is going to kill him.
Good.
How dare you, sir? You know how bad I want to split. I wish that we had Anthony here. I actually gave Anthony screening passes to go see The Fate of the Furious, and he said that it was quote-unquote amazing. So we were going to have him in for a review. Although the reason that Dom turns evil is so stupid. So lame. I almost just want to tell you now to ruin it for you, but I'm not that mean.
Well, we got one more trailer, though.
What is the trailer?
The trailer, Thor Ragnarok.
Oh, Thor Ragnarok dropped. We're friends from work.
This is.
Although they said it was when James Gunn said it was the most fun Marvel trailer ever. No, not even close. Like Spider-Man: Homecoming is way better.
it is better, but for a Thor movie, considering the mixed reaction that people have had to Thor over the last few years, with
Kate Blanchett looks great.
It was this is the one where I was like, okay, this one the first movie you see it because it's Thor. Second movie you're like, maybe they got better, a little more action. This one really does look like it is the Thor movie we deserve.
Mirror.
It's like this is the Thor movie we deserve. We're gonna get so many aspects of it where he loses Mjolnir.
Unworthy Thor.
But even outside, what is the end of this movie going to be? That is what I'm looking forward to seeing.
I'll be honest, I'm really only going to see this movie for the Hulk.
Really?
I'm just not a Thor guy, even in the littlest bit. So.
Well,
Except for the Daryl sketches and the fact that Daryl is canon now.
Daryl.
Did you see the second part? Like, we're getting a servant when he's trying to pay him with the coins. I went and bought Doctor Strange just to get the full version of that. It's incredible. First of all, knowledge is power, and I'm all power. And this is brains, and this is brains, and that means I have more brains than you. But it just looks incredible. But I mean, we did get our look at Jeff Goldblum as Grand Master. We got our first look at Valkyrie, of Hela, Loki. Loki back with his new headset,
Yeah.
looking really good. So it's a fun trailer. Looking forward to it. I mean, I'll hold out because the Thor movies, the trailers have always looked great, but then Dark World was just
No, like this is where I agree with you. This is where Dark World, the first Thor movie and Dark World were meh. This
Man, you're gonna give them? They were garbage. They were hot garbage.
Well, all right. So my thing with the Thor movie is this: that first one was directed by Kenneth Branagh, who is awesome, and I can understand the Shakespearean aspect. The second one,
Can I say something about that real quick? I saw someone post to me and they're like, I still, because they were watching Harry Potter in our Harry Potter group, and like, I still can't believe Gilderoy Lockhart directed Thor. And then someone wrote, did he, or did he just wipe their memory and take credit for it? That's what Lockhart did.
Okay.
I thought that was one of the most clever memes I've ever seen.
So yes, that is a really good meme. So like, I understand the first one, and they've tried to, I think with Paramount, they've tried to, the first one they tried to make it very serious, very Shakespearean. They didn't leave too much for action. And the second one, they made that mistake of too much action and not enough plot. And so right now, I think you get enough plot and you get enough action, and especially where the Marvel characters have developed. We've seen Thor develop. They got Taika Waititi to do this, which means there's going to be a bit of humor, and it's going to have a story, which is going to be good, and we're going to have the action. We're going to get all the stuff that we wanted this thing to be, and then we're going to be sad when he doesn't resign.
So we'll see how it goes, but any final words? I just want to mention that our poll of the week this week is The Flash. Newest issue sets up the Button crossover, where we get the return of Reverse Flash, the Flashpoint Batman, and the Watchmen being introduced. Also was announced the Watchmen's getting a rated R animated movie from WB Animation in the animation style of the comics.
Good. I will point this out to you again. If you have not been looking at Injustice 2, the trailers, if you didn't see the Flash trailer this week,
His super move is dope.
oh yeah,
Creates
that's
a
like
time remnant. Like, come on.
It's yeah. That's my last words of the week. Go look at that trailer. That game, what they're doing.
I think we're gonna have to do like a live stream crossover with the Retro Gamers, also on Nerd Herder, and do like a team Get Your Geek On versus Team Retro Gamer.
I will win.
Well, dude, I will destroy. Dude, no joke. My Injustice skills are crazy because it's the old Mortal Kombat controls.
Yes, I have. I will bring out my Pro controller. I will put it on.
My family won't let me play with Green Lantern or Flash. I'm banned.
But yeah, that when you have internet reactions when this is like it made the rounds, it's like everybody else is like, it's Supergirl, the Flash. And you're like, oh, and that trailer.
So final word this week, get out and see Power Rangers. Let's try to boost this box office, or at least buy it on Blu-ray DVD when it comes out. Let's get this box office up to get a sequel. If we can get 9 Fast and the Furious movies, I can get a second Power Rangers movie. For this week's episode of the Get Your Geek On podcast, I've been Chuck KIWACZ.
I'm Robert Jokes.
And Anthony Arsenio. We miss you, buddy, but we'll have you here next week. Have a week.
Bye-bye.